Welcome everyone. Hello. All right, hope you guys are enjoying the sun out here. I'll do this practice here out on my deck and get some sun. So if I'm squinting a little, it's because it's super bright out there. So don't mind that. But all right, so it is almost noon, and welcome to your yoga practice. So my name is Grace. And I will be guiding you through a flow today that is twist focused. So, okay, you can't see me in the shade. So it's a twist focused flow. And I'll be offering a lot of modifications, a lot of ways to amplify your practice. And we'll work towards side crow. So it's an arm balance that you can work on, and there's lots of stopping points along the way. So if that's not your jam today, I'll have a lot of options for you to do, and know that any amount of that pose is still the pose. So you can work at whatever level feels comfortable for you. All right, let's get started. I'm Grace. Let's make our way to our mats. All right, so we're going to be starting on our backs today in Shavasana. So I like to start with my knees towards one another, feet wide to the edges of the mat. So lay down onto your mat. Tuck the wingtips of your shoulder blades underneath your upper back. Allow your knees to rest against one another. Have your hands by your sides or on your chest and belly, wherever they want to naturally fall. And so let's take this time to arrive here in this space. So close your eyes. Let's take a big deep breath in through the nose and a full breath out through your mouth. So 2 more times just like that. Just big deep breath in, fill up all the way to the top of the lungs. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. 1 more time. Bigger, deeper breath. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Allow your lips to seal. Start to bring your breath in and out through your nose. So eyes are closed, breath flows in and out through the nose, and start to bring your awareness there. So we always take this really important time in the beginning of class to establish our breath. It's the most important part of our practice. It allows us to just arrive in this space, arrive at this place, so you can stay anchored to the present moment and the sensations that arise as you start to move and flow today. So notice the temperature, the texture of the breath. Notice how it feels as it flows in and out. And start to make each breath a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. And let it flow a little more smoothly than the wind before. And see if you can make your exhales a little more complete. So pressing every bit of air out in the lungs, just to create a little bit more space for more breath to flow back in on your inhale. So continue with this breath. We'll take about 5, 6 more cycles of breath here. So let go of anything that's to come after you step off your mat, anything that's happened up until this point. Let it all go. Just be here with your breath. And take the last few breaths here to cultivate an intention for your practice. And so what does that mean? It could mean something that you're working on or off the mat. Maybe it's, I don't know, just whatever comes to mind. Allow whatever that is to inspire you as you move. Take one more long cycle of breath here. Blink your eyes open. Reach your arms up and overhead, either in a diamond shape or extending them long overhead. Fingertips reach out back behind you. And then start to swivel your knees left to right. And we'll start to loosen up the low back here, start to bring a little mobility into the spine. So start to move with your breath. Inhale as your knees move through center. Exhale as they rock either left or right. And next time your knees fall over to the right, let them land to the floor. We'll just take a nice easy twist here. So either stay as you are, or take your right foot, place it just over your left leg. And allow the weight of your right foot to traction your knee down and forward, finding a nice long side stretch on the left side body. And if that doesn't feel good, keep your feet separated to the edges of the mat. And breathe deeply. Inhale, pick up your right foot. If it's hooked, place it to the right edge of your mat. Swivel the knees over to the left. Same thing here, keep the feet separated or place your left foot just over your right leg. Let the weight of your left foot stretch you out on the right side. And unhook your left foot, place it to the edge, bring your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Take your knees wide, grab the outer edges of your feet, and just come into happy baby, just rolling out a little bit here, extending your heels left to right if that feels good, or just staying stationary. Bring your knees wide and down, kicking your heels up. Keep your tailbone heavy, shoulders heavy onto the floor. And we move into arm balances. It's a lot of core activation, so we'll bring some awareness to the core here. So bring your knees here to tabletop. And then we're going to do side crow on your back, so supine side crow. So knees and tabletop. Inhale, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, reach your arms out to the right. So as you're doing this, pull your knees in a little bit closer to your left shoulder and use your right hand, press it away from you to lift your right shoulder a little more. Squeeze into a little ball. Belly in, tailbone heavy. Good. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, arms up and over to the left. And squeeze your knees in a little bit tighter. Reach your arms out a little more. Just finding that shape of side crow that we'll play around with towards the end of class. Good. Inhale one more time each side. Exhale, up and over to the right. Hold here. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, up and over to the left. And squeeze in tight. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Legs in tabletop again, hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide. We'll just do a couple of Yogi Bicycles just to warm up and activate, bring awareness to the core. So as you're doing this, elbows stay wide. Lift your shoulder up. Think right shoulder, left thigh, left shoulder, right thigh. Elbows stay wide. So again, rolling shoulders up and off the mat, keeping the neck long, front and back. So keep on going, nice and slow and controlled. Full extension of the leg. Opposite leg. Good. And then keep on for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Cross at the ankles, rock and roll a couple times. Come up and over the knees and into tabletop. So hands and knees, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Tuck your toes for a little stability. Spread your fingers wide. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chin and tailbone. Exhale, press the floor away. Cat pose. Move with your breath. Inhale, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, press and round. A couple more rounds like that. If you want to invite in any other feel-good movements as you start to wake up the body, and start to move with your breath. Go ahead and invite those in. Take one more round of breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Come on back to a neutral spine. Walk your fingertips forward towards the front of the mat and moving into puppy dog pose. So keep your hips over your knees. Allow your forehead to rest onto the floor. So your seat stays high and wide. Draw the low belly in and up to protect your low back. Stretch your fingertips out nice and long. Make sure your upper arm bones wrap around and your heart melts towards the floor. If you need a little bit more, you can pop up to the fingertips. Draw your shoulders down your back, find a little more depth in your stretch. Inhale, lengthen, back off a little bit. Keep your left hand where it is. Weave your right arm underneath for thread the needle. So rest your right shoulder, right ear onto the mat, like so. Left fingertips reach forward. You can take the left fingertips by your face, or if you like to open up or take the half bind, find that arm variation. But whatever you decide, your right hand reaches out and you're actively reaching out through the fingertips. So back of the hand down and press the back of the hand gently to the floor to help you revolve the chest a little more. Find that twist. Good, inhale, unwind, switch sides. So right arm forward, left arm weaves underneath for thread the needle. Other side. Good, take the same arm variation with your right hand. And then again, left fingertips reach out. Spread your fingers wide. Press evenly down with the back of the palm and help revolve your chest a little more to your right. And unwind the body. Hands to the floor. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Find downward facing dog. Set your foundation. Spread your fingers wide, shoulder width distance apart. From there, lengthen up through the sides of the arms, sides of the waist, all the way to the outer hips. And keep that length. You can keep a little bend in the knees if the backs of the legs are tight. And then imagine rolling the inseam of your pant legs towards one another and back, inner rotating the thighs. Press your chest back. Soften your heels to the floor. Find a little stillness or start to pedal out the feet. Find a little movement. Good, so stay here a couple of breaths. Start to lengthen and deepen your breath. Take two more here. Let your head hang heavy. Soften at the hinge of your jaw. Soften the muscles of your face. Find evenness in the inhales and the exhales. Inhale, look forward, shift forward, high plank pose. So anytime you're in high plank, knees are always welcome on the floor if you need a little support. Otherwise, press your heels back, belly in and up, push the floor away, and lift the back of your head so your head's in line with your spine. Good, squeeze your quads. Good, hold here nice and tight. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. And move through that a couple times, warming up our shoulders. Inhale, forward to plank. Look a little forward of your fingertips. Exhale, press it back, down dog. One more time, forward to plank. Inhale, belly in and up. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, gaze forward. Step or float your feet to the top of the mat. Standing forward fold. So find your feet about hips distance apart. Find a little bend in your knees. Hands to the shins. Rise up halfway. Lift. Find some length. Exhale. Soften and fold. Grab opposite elbows. Ragdoll here. And find a little tuck of your chin. So back of the neck stays long. A little more weight forward towards the toes. Lift the hip creases up till top of the head towards the floor. So it points down. A little sway from side to side. Release your hands down. Place your left hand to the center of the mat. If you have a block, great place for the block. So left hand to the block or the mat. Bend your left knee. Right leg stays nice and straight. Peel open to the right. More towards the center of my mat here. So as you're doing this, straight line from wrist to wrist. Open up your chest. Push the floor away with your left hand. Reach up a little more. And then right leg stays nice and straight. Press down the big toe side of your right foot. Spiral open. And one more big breath in here. And then switch sides. So right knee bends. Place your right hand to the center of the mat. Left arm to the sky. Root down the four corners of your left foot and take your right shoulder. Soften it down away from the ear. Okay, so left side. Peel open. Good. Hips are nice and even. Squeeze the inner border of your shoulder blades towards one another. And then release. Move your block aside if it's there. Hands to the shins, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Roll up to stand. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Interlace everything but your pointer finger. Reach up, look up. I'll face you. Exhale, up and over to your right. Root down the inner arches of your feet. Lift out of your waistline. Draw the navel in. Tailbone lengthens down. Good. Inhale up through center. Exhale up and over to your left. Good. Inhale back to the center. Separate your hands, cactus arm twist to the right. So as you're twisting, twist from the upper back. So keep your right hip moving forward as your right elbow goes back. It doesn't really matter how deep you twist, but can you keep your hips square as you do it? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Just getting a little more upper back mobility. Good, one more time each side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus twist, right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus twist, left. Inhale, back to center. Sweep your arms wide, fold forward. Inhale, hands to the shins or fingertips to the floor, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Option for knees here. And we lower halfway, exhale, chaturanga. Tops of your feet press down, upward facing dog, or if you're staying with thighs down, cobra pose, nice and low. Press back, downward facing dog. Then inhale, look forward. We'll flow twice through that, sun A. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, rise up halfway, find some length. Exhale, fold. Root your feet down, arms sweep wide and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Lay your hands down by your side. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen, come up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back, hop back, high to low plank. So inhale here, exhale, shift slightly forward, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And stay for a breath. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time. Hands by your sides and reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Lift and lengthen, halfway. Exhale, plant your palms. Step or hop back. So if you're hopping back, land in your chaturanga. So we skip the high plank. So if you're just stepping back, you step back, high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. So if you're jumping back, jump back to chaturanga. Skip the plank. All right, breath in. Breath out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Make your way to the top of the mat, step or hop. This time, big toes to touch. Little space between the heels. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply, sit your weight back. Arms rise up, chair pose. So as we're sitting here in chair pose, lengthen your tailbone down, low belly in and up. Reach out through the fingertips. Sit weight back. All right, settle in here. And then come back to a nice long deep breath. Exhale, right arm back, open arm twist. And the same thing here as we did when we're in Tadasana. Keep the right hip moving forward as your right fingertips reach back. So keep hips square towards the front of the room, front of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, open arm twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step back, hop back, flow through. Make your way to down dog. So option here to step back, skip the low plank, skip the chaturanga, and just stay in down dog for an extra breath. All right, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Make sure fingers are spread wide, feet hips distance apart. Inhale, right leg to the sky. So turn your right toes down. We'll refine this pose a little bit. Press evenly through both hands. Reach out through the ball of the foot and lift with the muscles of the back of the leg. So when you find that height, soften your left heel towards the floor. Hold here. Shift forward, shoulders over your wrists, knee to navel, round. Push the floor away. Inhale, stretch it back, three-leg dog. Exhale, bend your knee, lean back. So roll your right hip open, start to point your knee up towards the sky, heel towards your seat. Level your shoulders, right shoulder in line with the left. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Lower your back knee to the floor, kneeling crescent lunge. Inhale, arms rise. And adjust your stride. Anytime you get here, make sure right knee, right ankle are in line. Lifting up and out of the waistline. Good. Bring palms together overhead. Reach your palms forward. And as you're reaching your palms forward, inhale here. Exhale, pull your right elbow back, like you're pulling back a bow and arrow. So keep your right elbow in line with your right shoulder. Inhale for length. Exhale, draw your right elbow back. So you're twisting here, keeping height in your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen your twist. Good, one more time. Inhale. Exhale, open up all the way, so right arm reaches back. Good, one more breath. Inhale. Left hand to the floor or block if the floor feels far away. Right arm to the sky, open arm twist. Option to tuck your back toes here. Lift your back leg, back knee. All right, push out through the ball of the foot, push out through your heel, hug your right knee towards the midline, and peel your thigh or your chest away from your front thigh. So keeping your right arm up, inhale. Exhale, reach underneath, twist and tap your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more times like that. Exhale, reach underneath, twist and tap. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, twist and tap. Last time for length. Inhale. Right hand just outside your right foot. Step back to plank pose and flow through to down dog. So if you want to hover the leg, add a little more heat. If you want to skip it, your choice, your practice. Stay for a breath. Inhale. I'm going to switch sides here. So stay as you are. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, left leg to the sky. 3-leg dog. Exhale. Bend your knee. Stack your hip. Open up. Level your shoulders. Good. Push evenly through both hands. Knee to navel. Round in. Stretch it back. 3-leg dog. We'll hold here. Again, refine. Turn your left toes down. Push out through the ball of the foot. Exhale. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Same thing other side. Draw your back knee to the floor. Inhale, arms sweep up. Okay, draw low belly in and up. Lengthen up through the sides of the waist. This time bring palms together again, overhead. Reach your palms forward towards the front. Draw your shoulders back. Lift up through the crown. Exhale, twist open. So elbow pulls back. So don't open up all the way just yet. Use the elbow to help open your chest to the left. So keep your breath moving. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. 2 more times. Inhale for length. Exhale, open your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, draw your elbow back. Fingertips reach all the way back. Inhale 1 more time for length. Right hand down, left arm up, open arm twist. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, open up. Make sure you're drawing your right shoulder down away from the ear. Exhale, reach underneath. Twist and tap your right thigh. Open up, inhale. Exhale, twist and tap. Inhale. Last time, twist and tap. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, left hand to the floor. Step back to plank pose, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, press it back. Good, stay for a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop, feet to hands, big toes to touch. Find a little space between the heels. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, lay them by your side, stand tall. Take your hands to the low back, lengthen your tailbone down. We'll find a nice, easy, supported back bend to open up. So lengthen the tailbone, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulders or the elbows towards one another. Open your throat, gaze back. Good. Find broadness across your chest, breathe in. And stand up nice and tall, Tadasana. All right, stay for a breath. Here, inhale. Exhale. Back to chair pose. Sit your weight back. Inhale, reach up. Can you sit a little bit deeper than you did last time? Bring back your weight a little bit more. Palms come together. Bring hands to heart center. Wrap and twist to your right. So knees and shins stay even. Start to press right palm into left. Spin your heart towards your thumbs. Draw your right shoulder back. Gaze to the right. And just make sure knees stay in line. Sit your weight down a little more in the back. Good, 2 more breaths here. And always twist from this place of space. So back off a little bit, and on your inhale, find a little more length and space. Keeping that length and space, every exhale, find a little more depth. Settle in. Good, 1 more breath here. Good, inhale, center. Palms come together, wrap and twist to the left. Same thing here. This time left palm presses into right. Get heart spins towards your thumbs. Lengthen crown of the head forward towards the top of the mat. Good. Take another breath here. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back plank pose. Decide downward facing dog or chaturanga. Up dog, downward facing dog. Let's stay for a breath. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, right leg to the sky, three-leg dog. Exhale, bring right knee to right upper arm, squeeze and hold. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, cross. Inhale. Exhale, bring it down the middle. Step your right foot forward between your hands. This time stay high on the ball of the back foot. Squeeze your inner thighs in, strong legs. Inhale, rise, high crescent lunge. All right, so staying in your high crescent lunge, sink your hips a little bit deeper. Reach your arms up nice and high. All right, I gotta water down my mat. It's getting hot out here. Okay, so keep going, high crescent lunge. So we're gonna do the same thing as we did earlier. Take your palms overhead in a diamond shape. Not a diamond shape, but palms together. Good. And then take your fingertips forward towards the front of the mat. Inhale for length, exhale, bow and arrow style. Draw your right elbow back. Okay, keep the big toe side of your front foot grounded so knee stays right in line with the ankle. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist open. So 2 more times like that. Good. Power up through the back leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, open up all the way. Stretch your arms wide, fingertips forward and back. Breath in. Exhale, back heel down. Warrior two. Okay. So right toes forward, left toes face towards the left. Warrior two. Stay low. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm goes up and back. So as you're lifting up and out of the waistline, front shin moves forward, reach back. Find length from right hip to right fingertips. Then exhale, right forearm to thigh. Spin your heart to the left, reach your fingertips forward, so side angle pose. If you like to go a little bit deeper, right hand can reach towards the block or the floor. You can take a half bind. If you like to full bind, drop your right shoulder down, right hand weaves underneath, connect hands behind you. Half bind, full bind, or just cultivate length. Pinky toe to pinky finger. Good, stay for a breath. Inhale, reverse triangle. Right fingertips back. Reach from toe tip to fingertip. And then reach your right fingertips forward as far past the toes as you can. So find length, right hip to right fingertips. And then when you can't reach anymore, right hand down, left arm up, triangle pose. Spin your heart to the left. Reach up as much as you're reaching down. Stack shoulder over shoulder, wrist over wrist. And take your left hand to your left hip. Gaze down. Crawl your fingertips forward towards the front of the mat. Lift your left leg. So you can stay here with the gaze down, hand on the hip. Turn your toes to the left. Or start to spin your heart to the left. Woo! If you fall out, come back in. And left arm to the sky. So in, half moon. All right. So stay here, breathe well, open up in all directions. Then place your left hand to the floor, take your left foot, cross it behind your right. You're crossing at the ankles, all 10 toes point straight forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, cross ankle fold. So you're getting the IT band here. Push down the big toe sides of your feet. Good, fold in. Unhook or uncross the feet, big toes to touch, hands to the hips, with a flat back rise to stand. All right. Hands by your sides. Breath in. Breath out. All right. Again. Inhale. Chair pose. Exhale. Hands to the heart. Wrap and twist to your right. Chair twist again. So keep it going. Breathe well. Then come on back to center. Exhale, wrap and twist left. Then inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, plank pose. I'm going to grab a towel for my burning hot mat. Keep going. So make your way to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Down dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left knee, left upper arm. Squeeze and hold. Good. Inhale, stretch it back, three-leg dog. Exhale, cross. Left knee, right upper arm. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Oh, much better. Exhale, step it forward. So left foot forward between your hands. Stay high on the ball of the back foot. Power up through that back leg. Inhale, high, crescent lunge. So shoulders stack over your hips. A little bend in your back knee. Push the heel back. Sit deep, reach up. Bring palms together overhead. Reach fingertips forward towards the front of the mat. Bow and arrow, pull it back. Okay, keep your hips square. So left hip moving forward as your left elbow moves back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale, open up all the way. Good. 1 more breath for length. Exhale, back heel down, spin open, warrior 2. So left toes point straight forward, right toes to the right. Bend deeply into your front knee. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Reach fingertips evenly front and back. So gaze over your front fingertips to the horizon. Sit nice and deep, anchor down back edge of your back foot. Soften your face, deepen your breath. Inhale, left arm up and back, reverse warrior. Lift up out of your waistline, keep your shin moving forward, reach back, find some length and space, room for breath. Good, reach forward and down, side angle pose. So left forearm to thigh, reach your right fingertips overhead. So again, length from pinky toe to pinky finger. Stay here, spin your heart to the right. You can swing your right hand behind you for half or take the full bind. Wherever you are, stay long from heel to crown, spiral along the axis of your spine. 2 more breaths here. So release that. Straighten your front leg, left arm reaches back, reverse triangle. Keep your legs straight, arms parallel to the earth. Reach past the toes, as far past the toes as you can. And then let the left hand land wherever it naturally falls. Your shin, a block, or the floor, right into the sky. You can look up, look down, doesn't really matter, but keep your neck nice and long, reach crown of the head, front to the front of the mat. All right, moving into half moon, right hand to the right hip, gaze down for the most stability. From here, crawl your fingertips forward a little bit, shift your weight to the left leg. And then the right leg is super active, so turn your toes to the right, lift with the pinky edge of the foot, press out through the heel. So the more that that top lifted leg is engaged, the more buoyancy and lightness you'll feel in this pose. So engage the top leg, spin your heart to the right, stay here or start to expand in all directions. Good, hold here, breathe well. Good, 2 more breaths. And gaze down, hand on hip, or stay here. Right hand to the floor, take your right foot behind the left, cross the ankle, fold. So inhale for a half lift, exhale, fold. All 10 toes point straight forward. And you should be feeling the stretch a little more in the outer hamstring, so outer strip of the leg. And if you're rolling the soles of the feet up, see if you can press the big toe ball mounds down to the floor and fold a little deeper. Good, 1 more breath here. Uncross the feet, big toes to touch. Hands to the hips with a flat back. Rise to stand. Take your hands to the low back, press your hips forward, open your chest. Find a supported back bend, open up the front of the hips. And then inhale to stand, hands by your sides. Close your eyes for a moment. catch your breath. Right. And then start to turn up the volume of your breath. So when we move, when we flow, we tend to lose the depth and quality of our breath. So see if you can come back to that. So breath in and out through the nose, little hug at the base of the throat, find a little sound, little control. Feel the four corners of your feet root down. From that place, stand up nice and tall. Okay, 2 more breaths here. Blink your eyes open. So still facing towards the front of your mat, I'll turn to face you. Turn your right toes out. Place the right foot to the ankle, calf, or inner thigh. So anywhere above or below your knee for tree pose. Firm your outer left hip in. Stand up nice and tall. Woo, bring hands to heart. Tree pose. And push foot into leg, leg into foot. And stay here. Maybe close your eyes or stretch your arms out nice and high. I like to do a side bend sometimes here. Feels good just to stretch out. I'm a big fan of side bending, just opening up side body. So you can bring your foot to your leg and then back of the hand to the inside of your knee. Guide the knee wide as you side bend over. So again, any variation you choose, all good. All right, take 2 more breaths in your tree pose, whatever that looks like for you. And then from here, pick your foot off your leg, point your knee forward, everything goes back, airplane pose. And it doesn't matter if your angle of airplane is here, here, or all the way down, parallel, find length out through the back of the foot. So out through the ball of the foot, rather. So push out through the ball, lift with the back of the leg, engage this lifted leg, open your chest. Spread your fingers wide, bring your pinkies towards one another. Good. Reach out a little more, lift your chest, lift your foot. And then step your right foot to the back of the mat. Right, adjust your stride so it's about 2 feet or so. So not quite as long as your lunge, a little bit narrower stance. So hands to the hips. All 10 toes point straight forward so you can square hips towards the front of the mat. Elbows in, lift your chest, exhale, fold halfway. So really focus on keeping the hips square. If your hips start to turn to the right, use your left fingertips, draw your left hip crease back. So square them towards the front of the room. So at the halfway point, inhale, lengthen the crown, draw the left hip back, and then fold further. So fingertips to the floor, the blocks. Let your head hang heavy, pyramid pose. And you can try and do a self-check. So take your left hand, just place it to the small of your back to see if the back is nice and even. A couple deep breaths here. Head hangs heavy. Focus on a broadness across the chest. Some length in the neck, and a softness in your face. And inhale to a halfway lift. Come up halfway. Place your right hand to the inside of your foot. Great place for a block. And if you have a block, right hand to the block. Left hand to the left hip. Inhale, halfway up. Reach your crown forward, crown of the head forward. Draw the left hip back. And start to, let me demo this way. With your elbow, from the base up, start to rotate to the left. So left hip back, left ribs back, shoulder. And eventually the gaze moves, maybe the arm moves too. So use your hand on the block or the floor to push the floor away and rotate a little deeper. If you can gaze straight forward or up or down, doesn't really matter. But notice your feet. Outer edge of your back foot roots down, big toe side of your front foot, open up. And then release, left hand down. Move your block aside if it's there. Walk your fingertips forward, coming into half split. So right toes point down this time. Push out through the ball. It may look like a standing L. Reach the ball with the foot back and up. So again, length doesn't matter. It's the squareness of the hips. So if you are sacrificing your height of the leg for this twisting of the hips, stay with the hips square. Push out and engage the back leg a little more. Again, maybe it looks like this. Maybe it looks like a little higher. It doesn't really matter. Engage and extend the back leg. Shiva squat. Bring right knee behind left. Coil it in. Gaze forward. Drop the hips. Tuck your chin. Push the ball of the foot up. 2 more times. Find a little more height each time. Coil it in and hover. Shiva squat. Inhale.
Good. Exhale, coil it in, hover. Inhale, extend. This time, big toes to touch top of the mat. All right, we're gonna side crow to the right. So first we're gonna come into a toe stand. So inhale, lift your hips, lift your heels, and then soften hips to heels, come into toe stand. Toes spread nice and wide. Walk your hands back in line with your hips. So sit up nice and tall here. You can stay here. Again, I'll give you the stopping points along the way to make your way to side crow. Again, any amount of this pose, still the pose. Do what feels good, leave out what doesn't. All right, so you can be here. You can practice some toe stand balance here. You can stretch backs of the feet and just stay here. All right, so if we're moving into side crow, keep your knees pointing straight forward, rotate your chest to the right. So you want to get a really deep twist before you start to move weight to your hands. So deep twist, so twist right, left elbow guides the knees so they point towards the front of the mat. Spread your fingers wide, hug your elbows in. So I find it easier just to land my whole right thigh on the tricep elbow area. So land it here and then shift forward and down. So arm balancing is just transferring weight feet to hands. So transfer some weight forward, spread your fingers wide, chest open, and then if you want to lift the legs, you got to drop the head. So drop your head a little to lift the feet. It's like a teeter-totter. You kind of balance the weight on this axis, if you will. So play around, do what feels good. A couple more breaths, excuse me, to work on your side crow, your toe stand, your twist. Oh, it's toasty out here. All right, 2 more breaths. And if you're working on splitting the legs, the bottom leg, the one that's on your tricep, goes straight out to your left. The back leg goes straight back. So if you're if you're splitting legs, if you want to do that variation. All right, come on back to center. Make your way to the top of the mat. Hands to the hips. Inhale, rise to stand. Release the front of the hips, supported back bend. Open your chest. Big deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, rise up nice and tall. Tree pose left side. So ground your right foot, turn your left toes out. Ankle, calf, inner thigh. Firm outer right hip in. Lengthen up through the sides of the waist. Bring hands to heart, to the sky. You can take that side bend. Again, lots of variations. Maybe you try something new, different from what you always do. Or maybe you go right to where you like to go every time. Doesn't really matter. It's a place to explore, place to practice different things. See how your body reacts as you explore different shapes in the body. So take 2 more breaths in your tree pose. All right. From here, pick your left foot up and off your thigh, point your knee forward, send everything back for airplane pose. Again, left toes point down, so hips stay even and square towards the front of the room. Reach out through the ball of the foot, lift with the muscle of the back of the leg. Palms down, open your chest, bring your pinkies towards the midline. Squeeze and lift. Belly in and up. So now dumping into the low back. Take 2 more breaths here. And step your left foot back towards the back of the mat. And adjust your stride, about 2 feet or so. All 10 toes point straight forward, bring hands to hips. Hug your elbows in, open your chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold halfway. All right, square your hips. So right hip back as you reach the top of the head forward, and then keeping that length, fold again. Hands to the blocks or floor. If you have blocks, blocks are right here. And then keep that length in the spine, squareness of the hips, and then let your head hang heavy. And then notice where the weight is anchored in your feet. See if you can press down evenly inner and outer edges. Inhale to a halfway lift. Bring your left hand or your block to the inside of your front foot. Right hand to your right hip. Come up halfway. Draw your right hip back. Reach the crown forward. Inhale. Exhale. Lead with the hips. So right hip back, right ribs, right shoulder. You can stay here for twisted triangle or extend your right fingertips to the sky. Shrug the shoulders down away from the ears. That's a tongue twister. And then ground down. Big toe side of your right foot, outer edge of your back foot, twist open. Use the block as leverage. Push the floor block away, spiral open a little more. Good. Release right hand to the floor. Move your block aside if it's there. Walk your hands forward a couple of inches. Point your left toes down, standing splits. Again, what matters is how square the hips are, not how much height you have. So keep the integrity of the hips, the sacrum, the low back. Good. And then you can walk your hands a little closer to your foot. If you want to balance, you can balance here. Keep your lifted leg active. And from here, bring left knee behind right, coil it in, Shiva squat. Gaze forward, drop your hips. Tuck your chin, extend the leg back. 2 more times, Shiva squat, coil it in, hover. Inhale, reach it back. Last time, coil it in, hover. Inhale, stretch it back. Big toes to touch, top of the mat. I'm going to turn this way. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Lift your heels. On your tippy toes you go. Have a seat, hips to heels. Point your toes forward. Balance here. Maybe you balance here. Maybe you toe stand, have a twist. Okay, given those options again. For moving into side crow, walk your hands over to the left. Point your fingertips to the left side of your mat. Wrap your triceps around. So just like chaturanga, wrap the eyes of the elbows forward, forearms parallel. Land your left thigh onto your elbows or triceps, and then shift weight forward. Maybe you just rock forward, rock back. Play around with transfer of weight. Back. Maybe you rock enough that you can lift a toe, lift another. Just play. Nobody's watching. Do if you fall, you come back. Come right back up. And again, it's this transfer of weight, and then once you want to lift your feet, you have to balance that weight with dropping your head down and forward. Okay? Couple more breaths to practice whatever you're practicing. Couple breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. And then come on back down. Inhale, rise to stand. All right, let's open the hips one more time. Inhale, arms up. If you want an unsupported back bend, make sure low belly is in and up, tailbones down, support your low back. You take your gaze up, your fingertips back. If you like to support here, hands to the low back, elbows in. Good. Slide your hands down the backs of your legs, fold forward. Let's take it down. Let's start to wind down class. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step back, hop back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Add your vinyasa high to low. Add an extra push-up if you need a little more heat. Good. One more breath, down dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee. Roll your hip open. Stay here. If you want to flip your dog into wild thing, come up high on the ball of the back foot, shift forward, drop your right toes behind you. You're landing on the pinky edge of your left foot. Push into the ball of your right foot to lift your hips up, reach your fingertips back. Wild thing. And then from your hip roll, from your wild thing, place your right hand to the floor, bring your right knee to your right wrist, lay your shin down and forward. Square your hips, exhale, fold. Forearms to floor, the blocks, or forehead to the ground. Settle in. And make sure the back leg is extended nice and long and the toes point straight back and not to the left or right. All right, settle in here. I always like to remind students that when you come into a pose like pigeon pose or a pose that we're sitting in for a long time, 5 or more breaths, that you take that time to reestablish your breath. So again, we lose the depth and quality of our breath as we move. Can you take this time here just to settle in? Bring that awareness back into a long, deep breath.
Close your eyes. Notice what's coming up for you. And whatever did or didn't happen up until this point, just let it go. Just be with your breath. Take 2 more here. And inhale to rise. Palms down, press yourself up. Tuck your back toes, send your right leg back. Do what you need to do. Take a hip roll, wild thing, bend and straighten, or pedal your feet out. Right, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee, stack your hip, open up. Even through the shoulders, push evenly through the the palms. And set your heel back, or take wild thing. Wild thing, shift forward, roll to the pinky edge of your back foot, drop your left toes behind you, ball of the foot. Push into the ball of the foot, curl open. It's a back bend, so think back bend, lift your heart, reach back, lift back. And when you're ready, come back around. Swing your left knee forward to the left wrist, slide your right foot back, square your hips, lower down. I didn't say this during the first side, but if you ever feel sensation in your knee in this pose, so you feel it in the hips, maybe in the front of the hip, maybe the outer hip, but if you ever feel it in your knee, just flip onto your back, cross, ankle over for figure 4. Same stretch, easier on the knee. You can control the depth of the bend of the knee. So take that variation if ever you feel that sensation in your knee. All right, settle in here. And make any adjustments necessary for this side. So if this side is a little more open, maybe you can go a little deeper. Maybe if it's a little more tight, has a little more tension, you stay a little more upright, use your props or come up to your forearms. And make sure this left foot, or the one that's crossed over in front, has a little bit of a flex to it. So that helps to protect and stabilize the knee. So when you're folding in this position, your knee is nice and stable. So just a gentle flex, nothing too aggressive. All right, 2 more breaths here. All right, inhale to rise. Rise up, tuck your back toes, send your left leg back, and do what you need to do. Do what feels good. Open up the hip, pedal the feet. And we'll settle in. When you're ready, back to downward facing dog. Let your head hang heavy. Take another breath in. Full breath out. Lower your knees to the floor. Swivel your feet around. Have a seat. All right, center of your heel down, toes up. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. So grab whatever is accessible. If you have a towel, if you have a strap, you can strap your feet. Plug your shoulders back and lead with your chest. Hinge at the hips, fold at the hips like a book. So hips, belly to thigh, chest to shins. So fold in however deep feels good, whatever depth feels good. Okay? And if you're super flexing and you want a little more length in the legs, block can go to the front of the feet. You can reach for the outside of the blocks. Again, customize this practice however you see fit, however you feel at the moment. And inhale to rise. Place your hands by your hips. Option for reverse tabletop. So soles of the feet down. Step on the gas pedal. Press your hips up. Or reverse plank if you keep the legs long. So if in reverse plank, soles of the feet down also. Push the floor away, lift the hip points up. Open up. So, your choice. Push evenly through the feet and hands, so open the throat. Separate the shoulders so the chest lifts. One more breath. And then lower down, all the way down. Make your way to the ground. Squeeze your knees in. Big deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. One more time. Big breath in. Full breath out.
Good. Pull your right knee in towards your chest, extend your left leg long. We'll finish off with a nice supine twist. So pull your right knee to your right shoulder first for wind relieving pose. So you're going to find a little squeeze, a little compression. So squeeze it in nice and tight. Wind relieving pose. And then on your exhale, soften. Take your knee across your body to the left. And I like to scooch the bottom hip under, more towards the middle of my mat to align my spine. And I twist here. So if it feels okay for the neck, gaze over to your right. You can reach your right fingertips out as well. Keep your right shoulder rooted. So the twist takes place throughout the entire length of the spine. And gaze to the right or up. And 2 more breaths. Longer, deeper breaths. And inhale, unwind. Both knees to the chest to reset. Keep hold of your left shin, extend your right leg long towards the front of the mat, and then sweep your knee wide to the left shoulder. So squeeze it in nice and tight. Compress there, wind relieving pose. Soften up a little, exhale, twist. Take your knee across the body, over to your right. Scoot your bottom hip under, if that feels good. Upper back is flat on the floor. You can turn your head to the left.